Hi. So I just want to clarify concerning my last video. I was saying that black people, they have their pineal gland is usually calcified up to like 15%. It's around that number. Um, Asians, I saw 20 to 23%, and white people up to 65%. So, the calcification of the pineal gland leads to a lot of things like sickness, and just inability to connect spiritually with themselves and with God. And so, a lot of the times we have these things that happen in the world because people just don't have that connection with God. Does it mean that all black people are able to connect with God and that white people are less likely? No, that's not what it means at all. It means that you need to get your butt straight concerning eating right, as well as maybe doing some fasting and some prayer and that kind of thing so you can decalcify your pineal gland. I don't want any white people or any other races out there thinking that they cannot connect with God because these scientific facts came out, because I'm sure there's going to be different numbers concerning the individual. But I wanted to bring that up because what we see today is a lot of people turning to spirit, a lot of black people turning to spirituality, thinking that the spirituality that they're turning to is going to change their situation. And it might, but you're going to lose your soul in the meantime. So a lot of these people that are talking about black people having melanin and your melanin is magic and all that kind of stuff, they are purposely there to deceive people. I see them winking. The Bible talks about a man who winks is there to do evil. It literally says that in the Bible. That's why you will see a lot of celebrities winking and that kind of thing, or they're going to be doing this, or they're going to be doing the peace sign, because all these things represent the dark kingdom. So you'll also see these Kemetic people, they have this cross with the loop around the top. And that is just, they're telling you that they are associated with these Kemetic beliefs. So you just have to be really careful, because though the devil might come with some truth, he comes with a lot of lies as well. And he will also twist the truth so that people won't know the difference. That's the same thing as when Adam and Eve ate from the knowledge of the tree of good and evil. They had this knowledge of good and they also had this knowledge of evil, and they partook in it. What we need to do is just eat from the tree of life, and the tree of life is going to beget good fruits, and you're going to sow things that are good, and you're going to take on what is good. So it's just a warning to black people, because I know a lot of people are out here doing ancestral worship. How is worshiping your ancestors going to help you? Your ancestor died just like you're going to die. From dust you came, to dust you'll go. So how is this going to benefit you? You guys are not talking to ancestors, you're talking to demons, because the spirit goes back to God after you die. No joke. God created man out of the dirt. He put in his spirit in him, and then he became a living soul. So what do you think happens when God takes his spirit from your body? The soul ceases to exist, and the body goes back into the ground where it came from. That's all that happens. You do not continue to live. You're gone. I know that's really hard. It's even kind of hard for me to say that just now, but it's what the truth is, and we need to stick to the truth. Your ancestors, yes, you have their DNA in you. A man came to me the other day, talk about, everything they knew being in you. Let me clarify this, okay? Curses are passed down to you from your ancestors, not just blessings, not just information and these kinds of things. Do you want to unlock everything in which your ancestors did? Probably not, because it's very uncomfortable having a heritage of having diabetes in my family, okay? That's written in my DNA. But if you turn your life over to God, then he can clear out all those things, reprogram your DNA back to its original programming, and you will not have issues with that. But here you are trying to connect with your DNA of your ancestors. There's truth in that. Like, yeah, you're going to get those things that they had. You got those things that your mom had. Why would your mom not have those things that her mom and her mom and her mom and her dad? And, at the end of the day, though, what you want to do is connect with God. A lot of these Kemetic people I see, they want some kind of power. They want to feel like they are worthy. The thing is, God already made you worthy. It's just that you need to accept that. You need to accept it from him. But a lot of people are not accepting it from him. They are looking for the validation and the approval of man. And man does kind of program you, especially if somebody is called to be a programmer, a witch or a warlock, or just an agent of Satan in general. They're called to program people and keep them in that programming so that they might not come to God and they stay in bondage to this fallen system. So these Kemetic people are there to keep you in bondage to this false fallen system. You know, they want to talk about, oh, how black people were so great and all this kind of stuff. And the reason why I'm saying, you know, my lineage doesn't go back to Egypt. I mean, I might have one tie there, but the rest is West Africa, Central Africa, and South Africa. And the tribes which I tie back to the tribes of Israel. You know, it's because you are trying to take on a culture that is not your own. You are trying to take on men and women that worshiped fallen angels. You know, there was a guy that actually had a dream the other day. I think he saw Anubis, which is this like dog god. He's a black dog god, and he was saying like this Anubis, this dog god, is literally a fallen angel, and these were the gods that they were worshiping in Egypt. So what do you think these Kemetic people are doing? The other thing is Satan said, you'll be like God, knowing good and evil. Satan is very comfortable with you thinking that you are God. He's very comfortable with that, and in fact, he wants that. So that's what these Kemetic people go around and they teach people, that they are gods and that they can do this and they have control over this. And, you know, what control do you have when you're on your deathbed? You can't turn around your death. Only God can do that. So just pay attention to what these people are saying. I was just watching a video. This lady, she was talking about melanin. I've been watching a lot of videos about melanin. I do this partially for information about these things, but also to see where the lie is. So she's on there. Her name on YouTube is like Naf something bending hind or something. So the tribe of Naphtali was one of the tribes of Israel, and Naphtali was represented by a hind. And so her name is coming from this tribe of Israel, but then she's over here teaching Kemetic things. So that's the confusion, you know, of Satan right there. She was saying that black people have this melanin inside of their pineal gland, which is true. They have more melanin in their pineal gland, more melanin in their bodies, all these kinds of things. And she was saying that melanin is dark matter. It's what makes the universe. But we are the first creation of God. You know, we reflect God. Let me ask you this. Is God dark matter? That's not what the Bible says. The Bible says there was darkness and then the light flowed over the darkness. So what you're saying is God is dark matter and that we're made of dark matter. We're what makes the dark matter in the universe. Yet you want to associate yourself with light. That's why you got to watch what people are telling you, because they're just repeating what they heard. They're repeating what the devil is putting in their ears and that kind of thing. If you want to consider yourself a being of light, don't liken yourself to dark matter, because that's not what melanin is. It might be a substance that causes you to have some skin pigmentation and pigmentation in your pineal gland, and it might help, you know, absorb light and that kind of thing, but it's not dark matter, okay? Let's get that straight. And then she went on to talk about how we're made out of stars and, you know, this typical New Age nonsense. We're made out of stars. We're made of the universe. We're made of the planets, okay? Yeah, we have a lot of these same chemicals as the stars and all that kind of stuff. God took the elements and he put it together in the way that he wanted it to be put together. But she's over here saying because we're made out of that stuff, you know, that's who controls us. And it's like, your name is Naphtali and you're saying the universe controls you. You're super confused. I'm going to tell you that right now. From my experience, anytime I ever healed was because of God, not because of the universe. And believe me, I used to be a New Ager. I practiced this nonsense. And it never made any sense, and it never gave me anything out of life because it's not true. So, what's the other nonsense people talk about? You know, I think all this, again, is just to build up one's quote-unquote ego, to satisfy one's pride. They're doing it in the wrong way, you know, because the simple fact is you're worshiping other gods, and if you worship other gods, well, you're going to fall because God told you not to do that. That's what the rest of the world is doing. You got this spiritual knowledge, but at the end of the day, the spiritual knowledge isn't enough to keep you afloat. You have to literally turn your life over to the Most High. But yeah, just remember these people want to keep you under control. That's all I'm going to say. Have a good one. Bye.